Today, let's learn about using NotebookLM for our classes. When you first log in to NotebookLM, you will see a list of suggested notebooks as well as your previously saved notebooks. Let's make a new notebook by selecting Create New Notebook. Now, it's time to upload our class resources. Here, we can load in lecture materials, primary source documents, or any other document you want the students to get familiar with before class. Once we upload the documents, NotebookLM will analyze them and generate a starting notebook. Here we can load additional sources by clicking Add here. Search the web for similar sources by clicking Discover here. Chat with the notebook using the Center Chat panel, or create course content in the Studio panel to the right. First, let's make a read-ahead podcast. Select the pen icon on the Audio Overview button. Here we can adjust the format, length, and language of the podcast, as well as a prompt field where you can provide additional instructions. Once we are ready, we can select Generate, and it will begin generating an audio overview. Once it is done generating, you can download the file and post it to your web campus site. Next, let's create a video overview of the material. Select the pen tool in the Video Overview button here. We can adjust the format, language, and visual style of the video, as well as a prompt field where you can provide additional instructions. Once we are ready, we can select Generate, and it will begin generating a video overview. Once it is done generating, you can download the file and post it to your web campus site. Just like we did for the audio overview and video overview, feel free to play around with creating mind maps, reports, flashcards, or quizzes in the studio. Finally, let's turn this notebook into a virtual teaching assistant for our students. We can do this by configuring the chat window to behave like a TA in any way we want. First, select the Configure Notebook button at the top right of the chat window. Here, we can select a custom conversational style and direct the chat to our preferences. Would you like the chat to act like a Socratic tutor? Would you like it to not give answers and only direct students to the correct page number of the document? Would you like it to focus on high-level concepts only? It's up to you. Additionally, we can adjust the chat's response length. Finally, we can share the chat by selecting Share at the top of the notebook. First, give access to everyone with the link, and then give viewers access to the chat only. This will limit student access to the chat window only and not give them direct access to the sources you have uploaded or the studio. We can now copy the link and share it with our students through our web campus site. Lastly, let's test out our virtual teaching assistant. Select Preview and start chatting away.